What's up, gamers? It's your host Cobra, and today I've got an update on Axie Infinity. So today we're going to cover a couple of things. First, Axie put out a new update to breeding that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to take a look at my progress to getting fully started with Axie Infinity for only 1 Ethereum and how that's going so far. So let's jump back over to my personal progress within Axie Infinity. Now when I last left you, we dug into part 1 of my goal to start in Axie Infinity with a total budget of just 1 Ethereum. That includes breeding, playing the game myself, as well as setting up a few scholarships for other players too. And at the conclusion of part 1, we had bred enough plants successfully with a little bit of profit to start our infinite breeding loop. That was more challenging than we had hoped for because prices were declining on those Axies as we were breeding them. So what has happened since? Well, unfortunately, prices have continued to come down. And that has made things challenging. When I update the spreadsheets with the new math and factoring in continued decline in prices, it just didn't make sense to continue with the specific plant builds that I was working on. So I studied the market, talked to a few more experienced players, and the first simplest adjustment that I saw I could make was switching up just one ability, basically removing carrot and adding hot butt to my plant build would increase my profits. That is because hot butt is a better choice for arena play, and if you remember back when we first started, they have put more importance on arena play since then, so it makes sense that the market is showing a higher price for a better build for arena. So we sold out of everything we had with carrot, bought a couple of parents with hot butt, and we did a cycle of 4 eggs. That worked out pretty nicely. We had relatively good results, and that build did sell better for a better profit than the carrot ones we had been working on before. However, while I was waiting for those eggs to hatch, I was looking at the market for aquas that I was actually going to purchase to play with myself. I was currently playing with a plant aqua bird build, and I want to get to a very specific plant aqua team eventually. And the first one I was looking at is a double anemone build, which is a aqua with 2 healing cards. That is really hard to take down. And what I had noticed is the breeding prices on those aquas were actually better than the hot butt plants I had just switched to. So we sold out of the hot butts and we purchased a couple of aquas to start breeding with instead. So I built a whole spreadsheet to show you my projections for where we're at today, but I realized that the Chillaxy breeding calculator outputs the exact same details at a much prettier level and a much quicker pace, and so we're just going to use that moving forward. So here you can take a look at the current round of breeding that is going on right now with my new aquas. We bought 2 virgin parents and we are breeding them 4 times each. With the adjusted breeding fees, we're looking at a total SLP and AXS cost of just over 0.2 Ethereum. That is certainly an improvement. One thing that I will note is because the prices on these aquas was actually going up while I was researching and making this decision. I purchased 1 parent at 0.12. I purchased the second parent at 0.18. And that's about the price point that I expect it to stay at, in the 0.18 to 0.2 range for a very good, very pure breeding Aqua. What we're going to do is ideally keep one and sell three. The projected cost, if we sell all of them, is at just over 0.3 profit. That includes selling the parents for about 0.1 each. One thing that I'll note is the Aquas, because they're in a bit more demand, the virgins have more depreciation than the plants that we were breeding prior. However, that also means that we can sell the virgin offspring for more, which is a better overall calculation. But if we keep one of them, we will profit at around 0.2. If we sell all of them, we should get closer to 0.35 or 0.4 even. Now there's one more adjustment that I've made to my plan that I want to call attention to, and that is I'm no longer worried about an infinite breeding loop. When I first started, that was a really important goal to get to, because having an infinite loop going does keep your overall cost lower. However, with the market being in such flux and the prices not being stable at all, both for the currencies, SLP and AXS, as well as even more dramatically for the Axies themselves, it's just not really worth it to have the extra planning required and coordination. I also like that by simply picking up one or two new parents each time and breeding whatever makes the most sense based on the market conditions that day, I'm able to pivot much easier. Like for example, that's what I did with the hot blood plants I bred in the previous cycle, and because I wasn't worried about an infinite loop or anything like that, it was very easy to just sell those out and start over again with Aquas. This extra flexibility means that I can breed more towards my actual needs for both my team and scholars. It also means that I can adjust to the market if things continue to be kind of crazy. It does lower my profit margins by a little bit, but that's a trade-off I think makes sense today. So where that puts us today is it means I'm going to go through a couple of cycles with the Aquas that I just showed you. I will then likely switch it up to a different Aqua build that will also be relevant for both my team and the scholar teams that I'm expecting to provide. My goal for October is to improve my personal team as well as to build my first scholarship team and get my first scholar started. So how's your Axie Infinity adventure going so far? Let us know in the comments section below, especially if you have any questions or concerns given the market conditions and the recent update that Axie put out. If you haven't already, make sure you're following us on Twitter. Hit that like and subscribe as well so that you don't miss out on any future content from the Freeroll.